The first job I ever got as a banker, when I was on campus, I was the president of the student union. The guy who was my speaker, he came to me and then showed me an advert in a newspaper that they were looking for bankers and people who had the minimum of 2-2 in any discipline. So he encouraged me to apply. I was called for an aptitude test, passed the aptitude test, passed the interview, called for some other level of interview, and I was hired. Can everybody say Bank One?
Bank One.
And then after I worked there for some time, I was living in a compound that had about 8 different flats. 5 of those flats were occupied by bankers. So we had one man who was the most senior out of us. And one evening I drove in. He looked at me and said, "Oh, Bayo, come. There is a bank that is opening down the road where I work. And they are looking for marketers, relationship officers. Are you interested?" So I told him, yes, I was interested. The next day, took me to the person who was going to be the branch manager. Incidentally, his own name is also Bayo. And then I got interviewed and I got hired. Can anybody say Bank Two?
Bank Two.
So I worked there for some time. And then on a Monday morning, I was going to work. And then I got a phone call. And the lady said, "Well, I would like to see you. We are trying to hire some people. And I want to know where I can work with you." So she gave me her address. I went to that place. Gave her my CV. Those were the days of floppy drive. She saw me, said, "I'd like to work with you." And then sent me to Lagos. Got interviewed that week. When I got my letter of offer, I came to church the following Sunday. And lo and behold, there was a brother who came to see me after the service. And he said, "Oh, brother, you're sorry. A cousin of mine, I met her. I've not seen her in the past 8 years. She said she came to Ibadan looking for marketers. And then I gave her your name." I said, "Oh, you're the one who gave her my name." Now, that brother had a driving school. That was what he was doing inside church. He was the one who taught my wife how to drive. But he was the one who recommended me for that job. That was how I got Bank What? So I worked there for some time. And there was a team lead where I worked. And then there was a guy who was also a team lead. And then that guy told me, "Bayo, there is bank down where I came from. Let me just give you a note. Maybe they will even hire you." But he just took his own call card and wrote at the back, "Oga, Bayo is my colleague. You may want to discuss with him." I took that card, walked to that particular bank, saw the security guard, told him I was looking for this particular person who was the branch manager. They took me to him. I gave him the card. He said, "Oh, you're from Biodun, sit down." You know, the first thing he asked me, "Which secondary school did you go to?" And I said, "Federal Government College, Idwani." He looked at me. He said, "Which year did you finish?" And then we started singing AGC. And after I finished singing that song, he hit the tip and said, "I'm going to hire you." He said, "So that they don't say that I did not ask you any question. How many credits did you have in SSC? You have English, you have math." And then I was hired. Bank number what? Bank number 4. So I worked there also for some few years. And then one day, it was a Saturday, I decided to call a former boss of mine. And then I mentioned a particular guy I saw with him the last day. I said, "Oh, how is he?" He said, "Oh, that guy just resigned though. And he has gone to so. He said, "By the way, are you aware they are opening in Ibadan? And they are looking for a branch manager?" I said, "Oga, I'm not aware." He said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Oga, I'm interested." I did the interview on Tuesday. Wednesday, they continued with the interview. Thursday, they asked me how much I was going to earn with negotiated salaries. Friday, they asked me to come and do my medicals. Same day, I got my letter. That's Bank What? That was how I became the first branch manager of an international bank in Ibadan. Came to Lagos, got redeployed, worked with a particular line manager who went to another bank, and then she called me and said, "Bayo, I would like to work with you." And then I moved to the other bank. That's bank number what? So I worked there for some time again, and then this same boss moved to another place and said, "Bayo, I would like to work with you again," and brought me, and that's where I am right now. If you look at it, it's about network. Please take advantage of your networks, your alumni association, your community association, where you are. Some of you don't even greet your neighbors, and you don't know that they hold so much value. One of the people who helped me was somebody who taught my wife how to drive. So in your career, it is not about what you know. Everybody knows what you know. Sometimes it's about who you know.